Summer vacation at times got extremely dry, and not from the heat, but due to the boredom. So my psycho sister, plus my weird dumb brainlet meat sack self, stumbled upon a mythical group of creatures within the garden. That's right, toads. And these little guys were the perfect cure for boredom because they offered so many options of entertainment. You could stare at them, poke them. Hey boy, don't touch them. You gon' get the wart.
Don't you know your inexperience with these sentient beings insults me to my core? One does not just obtain warts from toads. It is just a myth. I will not be silenced.
Yeah, so my dad was so not into us handling toads for hours on end, so he took us to the pet store to get a massive tank for them. Ooh, what are you putting in this tank?
So now we had a place to keep our little toad buddies without trying to sneak them into the house.
But let me tell you, these toads got the home glow up. We got the greens, the mud, the water, and the crickets. But something's still off. Oh my god, that's right. Tiki Hut! And things were looking pretty good for them because they no longer had to scavenge bugs in the corner of our screen room. And I felt good because as a kid, you think having a roof over an animal's head is amazing. But boy howdy, I was wrong. Also, I'm pretty sure we lost a few toads in the process before we even got the tank. And my parents didn't want to see us cry anymore because we used to have these super long funerals each time we lost a toad. And I think the funeral speeches were starting to make them depressed. So they would tell us that the toads missed his family and went home for vacation when they died. And we ate that up! I was convinced because we named a few toads things like lieutenant and sergeant. They were leaders of a toad military and they had to protect their people. God, what silly, dumb, malleable-minded kids, huh? That's what you are. Oh god, I can fix that. But as the days went on, my sister couldn't take the idea of them being in the tank. So in her words, the toads were getting sad because they can't have playtime. Oh my god, I would be sad too. So against all of our parents' wishes, we grabbed the toads and let them into the screen room again. But that was not enough for Sriracha. Her older sister powers of manipulation activated. And... in her words again, not mine, they need to go to an amusement park so they can have fun like we do when dad takes us. But there's no parks nearby. Use that smart brain of yours I know you have. Come on. Wow, nobody says my brain's smart. Ow. Oh, yup, that's right. We had spinning cups, a Ferris wheel, and our main attraction, a toad roller coaster. Oh gods, no. In my mind, I was doing God's work out there for the toads. And when I picked them up, they would pee in my hands. Gross. Yes, I know. Hold that thought. But my sister said they were peeing out of excitement. But in reality, they were peeing as an anxiety coping mechanism for the torture dungeon I accidentally made them. So this whole time, my childhood brain could not comprehend the fact that this was bad. Because I would have had a blast on these rides as a kid. But suddenly, a voice pierces my mind. Ah, God, ow. Why does this hurt so much? Less in the movies. The president starts filling my head, saying, the roller coaster isn't enough for their happiness. We need a new attraction. One that's bigger and better than them all. Better than the teacups? Yes, even better than the teacups. Dang, I really like the teacups. So do you want their happiness or not? I do. Then look to your right. There it was. The ultimate attraction, Dunk Mountain. This ride was one of those old arcade basketball games with a super safe way to guide the toads down to the bottom so it would catch them where the balls all pooled. That's at least what she said, and I always trusted my older sister. We would put them on my toy cars to replicate a log ride, and it worked a little too well. Oh, he's so happy. But she was still not satisfied and would push things under Dunk Mountain to pop the slide portion out, making ramps. Basically creating a terrain park for snowboarding toads now. So now toads were flinging left and right. Thankfully, it was a soft cushion ride, so no toads were hurt physically. But mentally, well, we were dumb kids and we were thinking we were doing good. But as the sun went down every day, my sister had the brilliant idea of dinner time theater, where the most talented toads would step up for the Toad Opera. It was such a fulfilling and beloved. It was just another excuse for us to stare at our toads for another hour. But now I think you got the idea that my sister was a wild child, but nothing compares to the power of a group of young boys bored out of their mind in the middle of summer. My two buddies, Jim and Denny, decided to swing by to hang out, and I was so excited to show them my toads out back. And after about an hour of looking at my toads, Jim turns to Denny and says, I'll give you $5 if you throw the toad on the neighbor's roof. And let me tell you, $5 back in the day was like $500 to a kid. So my boy's interest was piqued. Meanwhile, I was stunned. I couldn't move, I couldn't talk or say anything. I couldn't fathom the thought that anyone would ever do such a... I just witnessed one of my future groomsmen commit toad slaughter on a lieutenant, all for $5. Like, why am I surrounded by future serial killers? But after they left, I was crushed. So crushed I sat on the side of my house and cried for hours. Why, Lieutenant? Why couldn't it be Jeff? Oh my god, you're alive! How did I know? This toad always had a scar on its lip since I found him. And from there, I learned I had to take control for once. So it was time for the toads to live a better life. So I loaded up my car and drove them to my aunt's house to their pond, where I would say my final farewells. I'll miss you guys. Come on, I'm bored. Take me back. No, I can't do this. It hurt for some time, but holy heck, it was really cool to see how long they actually survived. And that was like a few years. So moral of the story, heck family and friends when you have toads. On that note, soft tacos for you. Bye-bye.